Hello and welcome to another video. So today we are headed to Bentor to photograph a 13th century church. It's more commonly known as the Church in the Sky, and it has a good reason. Let's jump in. So we're here at the Church of the Sky, right on the very edge of Dartmoor National Park. Now, straight away, I'm liking this composition. I'm going to have a look around. We've got about an hour and a half till sunset. But for now, we've got this quite a large granite rock just offset the church, and the yellow, whatever that is, scrubland, heathland, just speckling the hillside, which I think looks quite nice. So this might be the composition I go for. Sun setting over there, so we should get some nice golden light on this if the sunset plays ball. But for now, gonna have a quick look around and see what other compositions there are. Okay, so a possible second composition, and we're looking side on from the church, but the reason I'm thinking is these hills, they need a bit of light on them really, but it shows depth. There's different depths to the scene, and it will show depth in the scene, but it needs a little bit of light really. It's looking like sunset here. It's looking like a big bank of clouds, so how much light we're going to get in a minute. But yeah, well, it's absolutely bitter, and you forget how cold it gets when you get up high on the moors. It's just cutting. I didn't bring any gloves, even though I got a pair in the car. There you go, live and learn, I guess. Okay, so third composition, and it'll be using these rocks as a leading line up to the church. And then there's, I think there might be like some sort of path around there. I think I've seen somebody go around there, but it looks a bit treacherous to me. So I'm going to go around the other side and see what you can get around the back, and then I'm going to pick my composition. Now, when I come out to do a sunset image, I always seem to end up with absolute rubbish light, and I don't know. There's quite a lot of cloud over there. I don't know whether the light is going to be any good tonight, but I'm hoping for the best, but I will get an image nonetheless. Whew. Trek up. Okay, so last composition could work, although it's dead straight on. Sun setting over here. We've got these lovely old gnarly windswept trees. They're just clinging on to the edge of that wall there, which could make a really good image using this rock as a leading line into the image. So what I might do, because it's not looking like the sun's going to play ball, I might just grab a few images from the compositions that I want, and then what I might do is set up for the final shot. Still recording, just checking. Set up for the final shot for the sunset, if it happens, just in case. So I'm going to grab a couple of images around and then set up for the final one. Okay, so just quickly, I'm just going to show you this quickly. Look at that. That absolutely looks amazing. Now, hopefully the weather holds out. There's a bit of a jarring come out of that video there. I'll explain that in a second. Want to quickly show you this. So I am 55 minutes away from the location, and there's a good reason for that, and I will explain it when I get there. So hopefully the weather stays like that today and I get a nice image. It is absolutely pissing down. Okay, so the rain stopped just long enough for me to get some waterproofs on. And answer the question, why am I back here again? What happened at the end of the last video? Well, not this video, but end of yesterday. So what happened was I got to the last bit of footage that you can see, and a photographer was watching me, and he came up, and very nice man, started talking to me, and just talked to me all the way up until sunset. And yeah, I didn't get to finish the video, so I did manage to get a couple of images though, and I'll pop them up on the screen. The first image that I'm going to put up, I noticed a big scuff on the front of the lens, and I didn't notice it when I took the image, so you'll see there's like a little white mark going through the thing, and then I noticed it afterwards. And then when I went round and took the second image, the scuff had obviously buffed it out a little bit, so but it's still got a bit of a scratch, and I don't know how I've done it. So yeah, so looks like I'm going to be looking for a new lens soon. So they do give rain all day today, something I did know when I was setting out today, but I thought that as you saw in the middle of the video, that little bit of footage, potential for a good image, but I'm not too sure. Now I'm here, it's not as impressive, it's cleared up a lot. Yeah, so we'll just have to see. Whilst we got this break in the rain, the plan is to go and take, can't breathe, go and take the image that I was originally trying to take up the top, front and back, and then on the way back down, take the image from here, this one that I was talking about right at the start. Just so I can nail the one that I actually want. We've got this massive cloud inversion coming on, and it's heading over this way, so I'm hoping to get, if I can get up in the church, I think the church is accessible, you can get in there, so if it does start hammering it down, I might just leg it into the church. Yeah, so that's the plan. I'm going to go, it's on the top of these rocks just here, so I'm going to take the image from there, similar to the image that I put up, that I took the first time I was here. But similar, actually, just reminds me, my wife prefers the image in colour and I prefer it in black and white. I think I'm not too happy about the sky. I had to dehaze the sky a lot and pull the exposure down on it, just to get what it looked like, and I just don't think I'm not happy with it, and I think black and white works better, but let me know in the comments what you prefer, whether you preferred the colour or the black and white image. Be good to know. I'm going to head up there now. Okay, so we're at the first spot now. I'll just show you how treacherous this can be up here, look. And we got a little bit, well, I'll say a little bit, quite a bit of wind compared to yesterday, so just got to be a little bit careful of where I'm standing, because I do not want to be down there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop you over here, just nestled in those rocks so you don't blow over, and then I'm going to try and get that image. Like I say, that, I don't know, that looks like it might pass, but you never know. So hopefully I can get some of that in the image, and There's a little bit of interest back here in the sky. It's not as good as the other side, but nothing really above it, and which is it's a bit of a shame. So I'm going to use these rocks as the leading line. I did come back. I think I was back a bit further when I took the original image, but I'm going to probably come to about here because it's on a little bit more of an edge back there. So I want to make sure my tripod's sturdy and I'm not blowing off the side with it. So I'm coming a little bit closer, which could work. I think it looks quite nice. So yeah, let's set up and take that image. Right. Okay, so if you see me heading away from camera really fast, I've fallen off the edge. So let's hope that doesn't happen. I've just invested in a new tripod. I need to invest in another tripod without this center column so I can get lower to the ground. I think that might help, because there's a few times now I've been struggling to get it close enough to the ground without the center column hitting. I know you can invert this, but it doesn't. I don't think it's going to work well by inverting it. Okay, so using this rock as a leading line, as I said, and then following that all the way up to the church. That's hopefully going to produce a nice image down low, but I think we could probably go, I think up higher might be better, especially with the lack of cloud coverage as well. It's not really a lot of interest. There's a lot of negative space in the sky, and it's starting to look a lot wetter. I'm not too sure about that. I think I'm losing the rock as the leading line because I'm cutting it out. If I come out wide, we lose the size of the church in the image, and it just starts to become a bit of a background distraction rather than a good part of the image. So I think what I might need to do is get closer to that edge and just recompose and try and include more of this rock, get a little bit higher. See what that looks like, and then one more up a little bit higher. That's better. Beautiful. Okay, so whoa, it's getting windy. Let's move to the back of the church now, and then we'll see what we can get over there. So I'm absolutely getting battered with the rain at the moment. There are so many compositions that I think look nice. The first image I got, the second image technically, because I retook it. I'm still not happy with it, so I'm definitely gonna have to come back and get that one again another day. Maybe when we got a decent sunset or a sunrise. But just walking around this church is absolutely beautiful. The compositions, like this wall, just the way this wall comes down the side, and it's almost subsiding down in the bottom half. And they've got the trees with there's moss. So you probably can't pick it up in the camera, but there's moss in the trees. And yeah, the possibilities. There's so many compositions I can have. Because I'm getting so wet, I'm going to take this one here. This is probably my favourite at the moment, apart from the one down the bottom of the path, which I quite liked as well. But I'm going to go with this one, purely because my back's to the camera. And the rain's coming to the back of the camera rather than the front this time. And I'll get it from this location. So I'm going to take it here. I'm going to try, hopefully, get the windswept tree in, as well as the rest of this tree and some of this rock. Until I set it up, I'm not going to know what it's going to look like, but that's my plan. And then I'm going to get back to the car and try and dry off a little bit. So let's get that set up. I bought a brolly, I don't know why. So I'll tell you what I do like and I don't like about this shot. I like the fact that it comes in on a diagonal from the top left down, and you've got the windswept tree that is leaning over the edge of the wall, which absolutely, without a doubt, compositionally, it's perfect. What I don't like is the second tree, and now that's right in the middle of the church, but obviously I can't move around any to get that, eliminate that or make it any different. If I come too far away from it, I'm not going to get the diagonal, and if I get too close to it, it's just going to take up more space in front of the church. So it's kind of a bit of a lose-lose. It's a nice composition, but yeah, the tree, it's the only thing I don't like about it. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do you mind the tree being there? Does it look, does it ruin the image? What do you think? What I might do, I might just still take that image down. So I might give it a go, see how what I get down the bottom, and take the image up the hill and see what it looks like, just for one final image. Now, thinking about these legs, just an update on these legs. I don't know if I've told you, I think I mentioned it in some videos, but these two legs, this one's a detachable monopod leg, but these two legs have just come loose and they just rotate, and I've glued them and all sorts, and they just keep coming off, and the bottom of one of these legs now just keeps falling off. So I've contacted K&F or Kent Faith, and they're sending me 2 replacement legs for the cost of the shipping, so I've got to pay the shipping, which is £20. So they're going to send in 2 new legs, so that will sort my leg problem out hopefully. But I do need to look into a new tripod, but that's for another video, I think. Okay, so final composition is going to be from this point of view. As I said at the start, the undulation of the hills, how you got all this depth in the scene, and it's nice coming on side on from the church. I think that is going to make an image. I don't know how good it's going to be with all this rain and wind, but like I said, it's always coming back another day. So I'm shooting straight up, church straight in the top third of the image. Settings are ISO 100, f11 and 80th of a second. My focal point is the top of the church. That will do, donkey. A cracking day. Well, I knew it was going to rain, so I've only got myself to blame. Okay, so that's the final image. I'm going to pop that up on the screen, and it just leaves me to say thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate every single one of you that watch my content and comment, and the subscribers. And there's going to be more content like this where I just actually travel, because I've got massive anxiety about traveling out of my area. So I'm just going to have to suck it up and do it. There's plans, I'll go into this in another video, but there's plans for this next year on YouTube and the coming years. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.